historicists see historicity, or they interpret Paul through the lens of historicity based on these three pillars. That is, the seed of David. Jesus is of the seed of David. He was born of a woman. And of course, the last one is
Brothers of the Lord.
brothers of the Lord. So I keep having that problem. It's odd that you would even need to say someone's born of a woman. Everyone's born of a woman.
That's right.
Mention him, right?
Yeah, but it's still weak. Why is it weak? The first evidence is the one I just mentioned. Paul switches out the word. He doesn't give the standard idiom. He changes it with this word that he uses everywhere else for manufacture and also everywhere else for Jesus. Every time he talks about Jesus, he uses this word, and he never uses it of human births. Okay, so that's weirdness number one.
I like how you analogize it to Adam personally, because we all know Adam was not born.
Was not born. His body was made, right? And our future resurrection bodies are the same, that he's talking about. God's going to manufacture them for us. Anyway, so you have that, right? The second point of this, so you got to look at context. When you look at the context, he says, well, I'm talking about mothers who are allegorical. I'm using mothers allegorically here in my argument. And so he's telling you, like, this is just an allegorical point, which means that we don't know whether Paul believed or knew that Jesus had a human mother, because he's not talking about that here. That's not relevant to his point, right? And he's not even talking about when he says subject to the law, he's not talking about being Jewish either, because even Gentiles are subject to the law. The thing is that the Gentiles just don't get an escape clause, right? Because they haven't entered the covenant, so they don't get to escape the consequences of the law, which is death. And so he's talking about the world order being subject to death, essentially, is what he's saying. And when you're a son of Sarah, then you've escaped this. You're actually a higher celestial person. You are no longer part of the mortal, deadly, born sinful world. Yeah, exactly. You're right. You are a superior being, and you now can live forever. And the whole argument is that everybody's a son of Hagar, right? Everybody's a son of Hagar. You're all doomed, but you can, through Christ, become a son of Sarah and get out, right? So that's this whole argument. So when he says born of a woman, and then immediately talks about different women and then what that means and their allegories for these world orders, that's all Paul's talking about. He's just saying that Jesus became to the elements, subject to death, and so on. It's just an elaborate way of talking about he became incarnate.
Being born of a woman, isn't it safe to say that Jesus technically, is what it's saying, was born of Sarah? Because
originally born of Hagar, right? Jesus is born of Hagar.
Okay.
That's kind of the point of the argument. He's born of Hagar, so he's subject to death. And then once he resurrected, now he was a son of Sarah.
Okay.